You have to be careful anywhere in the world if you go to a big city.
And Cape Town is no exception. Notorious as a country of extreme violence, South Africa was for years a no-go on many tourist agendas. But things are changing, and fast.
The most interesting initiative in the Cape Town area is the Bambanani volunteer program. That's a community-based policing method where volunteers take part in looking after their areas. When it started in 2004, there were about 2,000 volunteers on the program. Now we have 8,000 volunteers on that program. So that the responsibility for policing is not just in the official security agencies, but the people themselves get involved in that. I think that's dynamic.
These visionary initiatives have meant a safer South Africa, with Cape Town's crime down by over 40% at the end of last year. Although great news on the tourism front, violence and the Cape is no new affair. In fact, much of the city's charm, its melting pot of cultures and wealth of peoples, is a direct result of its tumultuous 350 years of conflict, commerce and colonialism. The Dutch first landed at the Cape in 1652 and grew vegetables here at Company's Garden to supply their merchant fleet en route to Asia. They soon outfought the indigenous sand tribes and even attempted to keep them out with a bitter almond hedge, the remnants of which can be seen at Kirstenbosch Botanical Gardens, which with its 22,000 indigenous plants was the first botanical garden to become a World Heritage Site. A new wave of conflict followed when the British decided that the Cape was too good to be Dutch and moved in, leaving the city with its #1 attraction, the Victoria and Albert waterfront. Originally created to stop the fierce storms of the Atlantic wrecking so many of their ships, the V&A is today a work in progress. A 40-minute boat trip from the waterfront takes you to Robben Island, an island prison used over the years by the Dutch, British, and most famously the Afrikaner nationalists, who sent Nelson Mandela and many other ANC members here during apartheid. Tours are led by ex-inmates and warders, and shed an informative light on this turbulent time. Created under apartheid to house and segregate cheap migrant labour, townships are still home to the vast majority of Cape Townians. The struggle of life here is equalled by the enthusiasm and colour of its vibrant community and the hope and pride that is evident round each street corner. Organised tours into the townships provide a valuable insight into the lives of the people who live here.
Cape Town is really a pearl in Africa. It's the most beautiful city. You've got the site of Table Mountain. You've got the two oceans meeting, the Indian and the Atlantic. You've got the most fantastic landscape, but you also have the people of Cape Town. You know, a country can be beautiful, can have all the features you want, but it's the people that really make it what it is.
And Cape Town's people are second to none.